Awesome. All right. So I guess I'm just gonna kind of go in order of my notes. Let's see. Okay. So the first like bit of stuff that we're gonna talk about is gonna be really like leadership focused, because they did have us do a lot of leadership related like discussions and roundtables. So if you don't have a team yet, that's totally fine. Because some of this is like applicable to like before you have a team and as you're like talking to your recruit leads and stuff like that. So, but one of the most like powerful things that really struck me during the workshop is they kept talking about like showing up and going up, and we hear that a lot, like show up to go up and learn more, earn more. But with the whole showing up thing, it was really more about showing up like mentally and emotionally, like not just attending the meetings and not just shadowing and not just tuning into the Zooms, but actually like being there mentally and like ready to learn and ready to actually like implement stuff. Because sometimes you get the people who are just, they're like professional students and they love to learn and they will go to all the meetings and all the trainings, and then they never actually do anything with that information. They're just like, I gotta organize it all first. I gotta learn every possible thing there is to learn. Or they're going just kind of like for appearances because their sponsor told them to go, or so it's really important that when you guys are showing up in your businesses, that we're all showing up in our businesses, like that we're not just going through the motions, and that we actually know what it is that we're doing our business for, and what excites us, I guess. So that was one of the things that really, and in all areas. So not, like for your parties, are you showing up? Are you being there 100% in your parties, in your recruit interviews, in your team, when you're leading team meetings, if you're, all of that. And then, okay, so some of the other stuff. So this is something that I've been like thinking about and mulling over since coming back from the MVP workshop. Because now my team, my downline is starting to grow again, and we have a lot more people. And somebody else was asking, I don't think it was somebody who's on here now. Maybe she'll jump in later. But just like, because we have so much information in the tribe, and I'm like, well, like what can I possibly say in my team that hasn't already been said in the tribe? But if you guys, let's see, does everybody on here have a downline? Or you guys, none of you have downlines? Okay. So, Tawana, you do, right? Yeah, okay. So if you don't have a group yet, go ahead and start your team group, even if you just have one person. So even if you only have a team of one right now, that's still a team. You're a team leader, like that still counts. Name your team, set up your group, and take everything that's going on in your uplines group, and you can rephrase that in your own words, and I mean, you can share it as well. And that's what I'm going to be doing is, a lot of stuff that Summer Rain posts, I'm going to be reposting it or sharing it or copying and pasting it, or just like redoing it in my own words, because we often have to hear things. I think the number was like 7 times before it clicks. And sometimes you need to hear it in different ways before it makes sense. You could go to, Heather Pillow's class and, Summer Rain's class and, so, all these other leaders' classes. And then, maybe Dana Barish, says something and you're like, that makes sense, but she was saying the same thing that everybody else has been saying. It's just the way she said it, it connected for you. And so that's why it's really important, even if all that information, there's all this great information in your uplines group, that you could still take that information and rephrase it and say it in your own words, and and post it in your team group as well, because there's never like, so there's no such thing as like saying the information too much, I guess, if that makes sense. So that was something else. Let's see here. So here's something fun too. So I know, Jenny, you've had a $1,500 month at least. Anybody else have at least a $1,500 month? Okay, yeah, no. All right, Nicole's like, no, it's okay, it will happen, it's okay. So have you ever done the math on how much money you would have made as a senior consultant for the sales in that month. Right? So if you haven't, I challenge you to do that. So at senior consultant, you make 50% instead of 40 or 45%. And so, I mean, oh, my calculator's in the other room, so I can't do the math for you. But yeah, so like you could just break down the numbers, and it ends up being like an extra like $1,000 a month of profit that you would have made just by being senior consultant and doing the exact same thing that you did as an advanced consultant. So for some people, so if you break down the numbers for yourself, that might like really motivate you. You might be like, man, I need to like promote to senior consultant. Like, what am I doing? I just did this amount of work and I could have made like twice as much for doing the exact same thing. And that's like one of the things that I really love about like the way they've structured everything is that you don't actually have to do any extra work to make more money. It's just a matter of sharing with as many people as you can. And that was one of the other things too that was important, because so we get really stuck on focusing on numbers and like you have to you have to offer the opportunity to 10 people before you get a yes, and 20% of the team of your team is going to do 80% of the work, and one person coming in and one person going out and one person staying where they are, and it's like all these numbers, and we get so sidetracked from like the actual priority, which is to share the opportunity with everybody and just keep sharing. Like stop focusing on the numbers, just like throw the numbers away and just focus on, have I offered the opportunity to this girl yet? No? Okay, let me offer it to her. Have I offered it to her? No, let me do it, let me offer it to her. And just offer it to everybody and keep offering it at your parties, on social media, when you're out and about doing your thing. Because the more that you share, that's when you're going to start building your team. That's when your team is going to start growing, and you're going to find that these girls that you've been talking to are actually going to start signing up and joining your team. And that's something that I've been trying to shift, excuse me, shift my mentality to, rather than being like, okay, well, I have this girl who's about to go inactive, or this girl has to get activated. It's just like, I'm not even like looking at that anymore. And I'm really just like, who have I not offered the opportunity to yet? Or who do I need to offer the opportunity to again? Because unless they tell you straight out, like, please stop asking me, this is never, ever, ever, ever going to happen, and you're a stalker weirdo, it's okay to ask them, because people's lives change. Whoops, I don't know what's happening here. Wait, Nicole, what? No. How are you signed in two places, Nicole? You signed into the leader account. You're on mute. Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, so I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, but like there's people, like people's lives change. And so even if they were a no before, or a not right now, or maybe later, or I'll think about it, they might have just lost their job and might need to be like, well, I need to do this. Like, I need to make some money now. Or maybe they just found out they're going to have a baby and they're like, I need some extra income. Or maybe they're like, all my friends suck and I hate everybody and I need some people in my life who are going to be supportive and who are going to love me. And they're thinking about doing it. Or maybe they just decided they're really sick and tired of paying full price for their products because they're spending like $300 a month with you, right? They're going to get to that point. And so it's okay to offer that out, again, especially if it's been like a year since like the last time you offered it. Just, check in. I mean, you should be having ongoing conversations with people anyway. So especially like your hot leads, you want to keep in touch with them on a regular basis. So you should theoretically know what's going on with them and know, when to bring it up. Like I can give an example. Today, I was talking with a girl who attended a party like 3 years ago with me. And I'd offered her the opportunity at the party. And she was like, no. She's like, I think it would be good, but no, not right now. Whatever. And I've offered it to her like maybe like 2 or 3 times since then. Well, this month is her birthday month. So I'm following Ashley Livermore's follow-up system, which is, once a quarter based on their birthday. So, this month is her birthday. So I was reaching out to her to wish her happy birthday. I was going to give her, $10 product credit. And I was like, so, are you still working where you were working before? And she's like, I actually just got laid off. I'm like, oh, and I was very like non-pressure, like, because I don't like to be high pressure. That's not my style. I am not Summer Rain, where she's like, go sell your firstborn child so you can buy this kit. She hasn't actually said that, but she's very much no nonsense. And if you're like, I can't afford it, she's going to be like, look around your house and sell something, because sell something you don't need, because we're going to get you signed up because you need to be doing this. That's not my style. But yeah, so I was like, because she lives in upstate New York, this girl that I'm talking to. So I'm like, I wish there was some way that I could help you. Like, I wish I knew of some jobs that, would take you right away. It's like, all I have to offer is pure romance. So, I mean, I know it's helped a lot of women who have gotten laid off from their jobs and were like, I need to make some money. So, I mean, if it's something you're thinking about, I can get you trained and started and ready to go. And I just left it like that. It was, very much like no pressure. And she's like, well, I can't afford the kit. So now I'm going to add her to my money train group. I asked her, can I just add you to my money train group? So now she's going to go in there and she's going to see me in her newsfeed every single week, dropping kit prices and business information. So even though she kept telling me, no, not right now, not interested right now, all those times before over the course of these like 3 years, I still asked her, and now she's in my money train group, which means that she's a stronger lead than she was before I asked her. Does that make sense? So just always keep sharing, always share. And remember, this isn't about you. It's not about you trying to get the next promotion and make all this money. You're offering this to them for them to have the chance to change their lives and to do something better for themselves. So when you offer it from that perspective, it does come across as more sincere, and people are more receptive to that. So this one, okay. So when people sign up, right, and we want them to at least make their money back on their kit, right? And we get so like nervous to push like recruiting and sponsoring because we don't want to overwhelm them. But sponsoring and promoting to senior consultant is literally the fastest, most efficient way for them to make money back on their kit. Right? Like, when you think about it, and we don't push it enough. So as you are starting to build your team and you're starting to develop your teams, let them know, like, look, you just spent like $200, $300 on this kit, and I want you to make back your investment like as fast as we possibly can, because that, you invested that, and now I want you to make money. I'm sure you want to make money too. Honestly, who are like 2 people that that you think would want to do this adventure with you? And you guys can do this together. And when you put it that way, it's like, oh yeah, like, who would want to do this with me? Like, that would be fun. Because the sooner she can start, recruiting, and the sooner she can promote, the sooner she's going to start making that money back. And that's what's really going to keep people from falling inactive, because once you have a team, you're like, I want to stay and be with them forever. And you feel like you have like a responsibility to them a little bit. But also once they see like just how easy it is to build a team, and they see how easy it is to make money by having a team, they're going to want to stick around. They're going to be like, let me do this like all day, every day. Like, I got this. As opposed to not having a team and only making 40% or 45% on your sales. And that's it. That's your only stream of income from the company. I mean, that's what really can get people frustrated. Unless you're like Jenny and you just have banging sales from the second you sign up, So, but yeah, so let's see. Oh, okay. This was another really cool thing too. Cheryl Forrest was talking about the culture within our teams. So generally when somebody goes inactive on your team, what do you usually do? Like, we cut them off. We don't talk to them. Like, like, bye, like, we don't want to see you again. You quit. We don't talk to me. I'm going to block you. Like, good luck with all your products. Sucks to be you, right? And we all do it. We're all guilty of it. Like, even if we're not like mean about it, we're still like, so sad, too bad, sucks for you, right? And Cheryl was saying, like, she's like, what if, because we talk about how we want to empower women, but there's nothing empowering about cutting somebody off just because they don't want to be on your team anymore, right? And she's like, what if instead we were like, you know, it's okay, like, you discovered that this wasn't for you, and that's fine. You can still just shop with me or refer your friends to me. And what if we were to help them get rid of their products? You know, what if we were to help them transition from being a consultant and just going back to their regular daily life? You know, trading products out with them, showing them how they can maybe run a flash sale to get rid of their products, or you know, putting them in some of the excuse me, in some of the groups so they can you know, sell off their products. And how much better of a relationship that would be for her leaving your team. You know, because otherwise it's like burning a bridge, and then you're never going to talk to her again. And the chances of her ever just changing her mind and deciding to come back are going to be like, no, because she's going to be like, you cut me off. Like, why do I want to be a part of that? So I thought that was really interesting, and that is something that I'm gonna strive to do, because inactivations happen. That's just par for the course. Like, that's gonna happen. So for my next girls who do decide this isn't for them, I know for me, I want to try and help them to make that adjustment and make that transition. So I thought that was really interesting. Okay, so one of the girls was talking about, so it came up, the question came up of like, do you do your new girls launch party, or do you make them do it themselves? And people are kind of split on how they do things, but somebody had a suggestion that I thought was really interesting. And so she does her new girls launch parties, and she does the demo. They get the parties, she keeps the sales, but since the new consultant is essentially acting as a hostess, she gives her the 10% like hostess credit as product to supplement her demo or build her inventory and to help her get activated. So she will log into her new consultant COO, or have her new consultant log into her COO. She takes that 10% of sales as cash and puts it towards product to get her activated and to like build her demo, build her, you know. So, and then while the sponsor will fill all the orders from the party. Does that make sense? Isn't that like great? Like, I don't know, when she said that, I was like, mind blown. I'm gonna start doing everybody's launch parties now. Tawana has a question. Yes. Here, I'll unmute you. Go for it. Oh wait, hang on. Oh, I keep muting.
Okay. Sorry. I didn't catch it. Can you? I missed.
Okay.
Repeat that process again.
Yeah. So, all right. So for her new consultant, she will do her new consultant's launch party. She has them basically act as a hostess. So she hostess coaches them, gets all of her friends there. She, as the sponsor, will do the demo. So she gets those sales. Like, that's sales for her. Her new consultant will get all the parties that are booked from that party because it's all her friends, right? To get her set up and started. And since her new consultant was essentially acting as hostess, she gives her hostess credit as product. She log into her COO. So say it's a $500 party. So that $50 in hostess credit is going to be $50 in products that the new consultant gets to place through her COO to help her get activated, to supplement her demo, build her inventory, right? Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it like gets the ball rolling for her. I'm like, that's genius.
Yeah. Okay.
And it gives her a chance. It gives the new consultant a chance to shadow like right away. So I thought that was really interesting. That kind of like blew my mind. All right. So new consultant bootcamp. So that was something that I started implementing for my downline. It's 60 days, and each week we're gonna do a different Zoom on booking, selling, and recruiting, and it's just gonna keep rolling. So no matter no matter when the new consultants come in, because it's going to be for all my downlines 1 through 4. And so as you start building your team, if you want to do something like this for them as well, you can. But it doesn't matter where they come in at, because they're still going to be able to participate in booking, selling, and recruiting, because it's just going to keep looping. I have like 9 weeks worth of like training Zooms already outlined. And it just repeats. And I've designed mine so that there's the Zoom, there's an assignment, and then there's usually like a pre-assignment for the coming Zoom that's like super easy, usually IRG related, because we know that the IRG is super important and it's something that we're really pushing as a team. If you're in the leaders group, we're basically prepping to start creating IRG videos for those of you that are more visual and auditory learners and not so much like reading learners. We're gonna each take a section and go, well, I don't know if we're gonna go live, just record a video and do it, basically explaining that section of the IRG. So it's just gonna be this nice little like video compilation. It's gonna be really cool. I'm excited for it. And then, oh, that's another thing too. I gotta work on this. 10 like booking just scripts in general for new consultants to include booking and sponsoring. Because sometimes when you're a brand new consultant, sometimes when you're a seasoned consultant, they're like, what the hell am I supposed to say? Like, I don't know. I feel like I've done every combination of words possible to book a party, to sign somebody up. And so just having like a list of different scripts to just kind of reference or try something different when you're stuck, or if you're a brand new consultant and you're like, I don't know where to start, just to have them there. Let's see. All right. So you guys are all playing a sponsoring game at your parties, yes? Yes, everybody's head better nod yes. All right. So one thing that I keep forgetting to do, because it's just not something that I'm used to doing, but that is like apparently super key for recruiting at parties, is the 4 questions after your sponsoring game. Have you heard of, even if you don't know what the 4 questions are, but you've heard of the 4 questions afterwards, okay? And you can kind of like, there's like different variations of them, and they're on the COO. If you go on the COO and do a search for like 4 questions sponsoring game, it'll pull it up. But it's basically, the question 1 is, tell me about yourself. Like, who are you? What do you do? What's your current job? Are you a student? Are you a domestic diva? Are you an astronaut? Like, what do you do? Question 2 is, like, what would you do if I gave you $500, like right now, like no strings attached, like what would you do with it? That's not bills. You have to specify like not bills. You can't spend it on bills. It must be anything else, not bills. Question 3 is, if I gave you $1,000 right now, like what would you do with it? No strings attached. And then question 4 is, if I could show you how to earn $1,000 extra each month, would you be interested in more information? Write yes or maybe, because no is negative and I don't have time for negativity in my life. Right? And I mean, you can make it fun or whatever. And then Summer Rain actually takes it a step further, and she's like, I have 7 or 10 or 5 or whatever number she feels like saying that day, spots available for, how does she say it? Like 5 spots available for women who are like interested in, she's like, I have 5 slots available for one-on-one like success training or something like that. This month, if you're interested in learning more about one of those spots, circle your answer for number 4. And so the circle lets her know like they're really interested. And then the people who put yes or, you know, interested, maybe not as interested. And then the people who put maybe are like probably not interested. I know some people are like, put yes if you're yes, or put a smiley face if you're no. So that way it's all positive. Because sometimes seeing no, it's like, oh, no. But if they put a smiley face, it's like, oh, that's so nice. But yeah, so the 4 questions are super imperative. And then of course, so plant recruiting seeds during your hostess coaching. Do you guys do this? Do you guys plant recruiting seeds? Okay, so I'm actually gonna, you guys can unmute yourself. I wanna hear some examples of some of the recruiting seeds that you guys plant during your hostess coaching, if you wanna share.
I like final hostess coaching calls. The one that I really like is okay, girl. So I am putting together my prizes for the night of your party. So what is our head count looking like?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I don't want to bring 3 prizes and you've got 30 girls in the room. I want to make sure that I get to spoil everybody.
Mm.
It was like, oh, I've got 20 people that are like absolutely, definitely going to show up. And I'm like, girlfriend, you're about to make me a lot of money. You know that you could join my team today for $139 and we can use this as your launch party and then you can make all the money. And then she was like, oh, really? And 99.9% of the time when I tell, like when she has a
oh no, she froze. When she has a what? When she has a what? I must know.
is more than 10. When the head
oh no.
really hard.
It keeps freezing.
What are we doing?
It keeps freezing. Every time you're about to
Oh my God.
the important part.
Okay. I'm just going to skip to the important part then. I pushed really hard and let her know that she can join my team and make this work has already been done. Damn it! Son of a bitch. This is why I don't talk at these things anymore.
Maybe type it.
So all the work has been done for her.
Yeah.
If she joins my team, the party's already set up.
Right.
So high head count means I push recruiting really hard for that.
Right.
Because now she feels like she doesn't have to do anything but buy the kit and show up.
That's smart, actually. That's really smart. Okay, cool. Did we hear it all that time?
I think so.
Okay.
Higher than 10, push recruiting really hard.
Right. Awesome.
All the work has been done.
Yes. Perfect. Bullet points. Love it. All right. Anybody else? What other recruiting seeds do you guys put into your hostess coaching?
I guess I don't really push it as much as Meg does, but I know when I do my packets that I give them at the party when they book the party, or that I mail to them if I book it at a vendor event, I always have the opportunity to brochure and like, discuss the opportunities and kit sales that we have with them.
Awesome. Anybody else? No. So one thing I have started doing, so one thing I've started doing on so I've started going back to hostess packets, which I used to do, and then I didn't do them for like a really long time because I got lazy. And I was like, this is stupid. Is this actually being effective? But then I really started thinking about it, and I do think that hostess packets, not doing them really affected my sales. So in my hostess packet, I do include a thank you for booking letter, and this is on the COO, not on the COO. This is in the tribe group. If you just do a search for my name and thank you for booking letter. And I made it in Canva, so this is not an editable document, but you can retype up all the verbiage you want and just change the names and the discounts and stuff. But the last one on here that I put, so the thank you for booking letter is, thanks them for booking. And then I just bullet point some really quick party planning tips. So I address, number 1 is make plans for the men and minors. 2, start thinking of your guest list. We're going to invite 30 to 40 people. Number 3 is multiple methods of invitation. Number 4 is keep snacks and drinks light and easy. Number 5 is pre-bookings and outside orders. Number 6 is please no smoking. And then number 7 says, if you'd like the chance to earn cash at your party, let me know. And I just leave it at that. So when they're reading through, so first of all, I'm going to know if they're reading this because they're probably going to be like, what's this about passion? If they're not reading it, they're probably not going to say anything. But I am also making it a point to follow up with them and be like, did you read it? Did you have questions? What did you think about number 7? So I just started doing this, so I don't have any results to report on it yet, but I will let you know as soon as I start seeing results come in. And then during my hostess coaching, when I'm calling them or Facebook messaging them, I'm also asking if they've ever thought about doing what I do. And then in the shopping room as well, which isn't really hostess coaching, but in the shopping room, I'm like, so do you want to put this towards a kit or you want products? So that's what I do. All right. Okay, so you know how on social media we talk about having the ratio of how many business posts you should do versus personal posts, so we don't like become the spammy dildo lady on Facebook. And it's usually either like 5-to-1 or 7-to-1. Like different people kind of do it differently. Summer Rain just does whatever she wants, whatever. She's a squiggle. She can't help it. No. So me, I do 7-to-1, and I will actually literally like count my posts to make sure I'm not over posting. The only exception to that is when I'm at training, because I just can't help but like live post that experience. See, Nicole does too. Like, sorry, for the next 3 days, everything you see from me is going to be pure romance. Sorry, not sorry. But one of the things that came up during the trip was, why don't we do that for our personal one-on-one interactions with people as well, right? Because I'm sure, like, if you open up your messages and like you go to message somebody and you can scroll through your message history, and every time you've messaged them, the only reason was pure romance related, right? And you're like, oh my God, this person's gonna think I only want their money, which you probably do, and that's okay. Let's be honest with ourselves, all right? But what if, because you know, we all know, well, at this point, you've probably heard it said a lot, like, we're a relationship business, and building sincere, genuine relationships with people is always going to be the best way to build your business. You know, finding out the best way that you can help somebody else with their life is going to be the best way for them to want to do business with you. So what if we were to take that 5-to-1 or 7-to-1 ratio and apply it to our personal messages with people as well? To just check in with people, like go through your friends list. You know, when you're doing your follow-up, whatever your follow-up system is, if you're doing 2 and 2 and 2, or once every quarter, however you want to do it, make, you know, do 5-to-1 or 7-to-1. Just check in, like, do a client care message, but then also ask, how's their dog? How are their kids? Are they liking their new job? Sorry that your cat died, like whatever. And then, you know, do that. And then when it comes time for you to like bring up business, they don't feel like the only reason you've ever talked to them is to try and get their money or try to book a party. I thought that was really powerful. That just that was one of the other ones that kind of blew my mind a little bit. So let's see here. Okay. So pass or play. So I can't remember. I think I brought this up on the huddle maybe. But so one of the girls at the MVP trip, she uses her booking game as also a sponsoring game. And okay, so I'm going to do my best to explain this. I didn't fully 100% understand how she did it. So if I'm explaining it, you're like, this doesn't make any sense, I'm going to see if I can get her to come into our group and do like a guest video to break it down better. So she does pass or play, and what she does is she has like a whole bunch of envelopes, and they have your usual hostess gifts in there: free coochie, free body dew, double hostess credit, like whatever we usually do. And some of them she'll put product launch and free business kit as their hostess gift, right? And so what she does is she gives everybody an envelope. They open it, and she'll go down the line one at a time, and they open it. And if they like what's in their envelope, and she lets them know, she explains that if you say play, you're booking a party, and that's what you get at your party. So they open it, and they can decide if they want to pass or play. If they say pass, they pass that envelope to the girl next to her. And I guess she does it twice. I think she does it twice. So she says pass, she gives it to the girl next to her, and that girl now has 2 envelopes to choose from. And she can either pass both of them or play one of them, right? And then it just goes on down the line. And then I think for whoever doesn't have an envelope, she gives them a new one, and if they pass that one, then they don't want to book a party, I think. It's a little bit complicated. Okay, so for the ones that say product launch and free free kit, when they open that and they're like, product launch, like, what is this? She's like, oh my gosh, like, that's one of the best. Like, we have 2 amazing ones in there. Like, you got one of the best ones in there. So we're gonna get you set up. You're gonna get your business starter kit. You know, you're gonna get your business starter kit. And then the day of your party, once you have all your products, you're actually gonna make money at your party instead of just free products. How's that sound? So, and I guess she talks to them a little bit more and breaks it down in a little bit more detail, like in the shopping room and when they pick their date. And she makes sure that they buy their kit at least 3 days before their party date. So that way it has enough time to get in. And that's their launch party. Excuse me, sorry guys. For the one that says free business kit, she explains, you know, we're gonna do your party, and the night of your party, we're gonna take all your hostess credit and you get a free business Pure Romance starter kit. So it's basically a kit earning party. But she says that she was doing this and it was working so successfully for her that she had to do her new consultants launch parties because otherwise she wasn't having any parties because she kept signing her hostesses. I'm like, that's a good problem to have. I gotta drink some. I'm sorry, guys. But does that, I know it's a little bit confusing, a little bit complicated, but does that kind of make sense? Like, you guys understand the gist of it? And I thought that was like so cool that she turns her booking game into a sponsoring game. I'm like, that, and she says, because of course somebody else was like, well, what if they open the envelope and they're like, I don't want to, like, a kit, like, I don't want this. There's usually somebody else in the room who's like, I'll take it. You know, and so it's putting it out there like in the open, you know, and so like her recruit leads are identifying themselves, you know, during the party, during her booking game. So I'm going to talk to her and see if I can get her to come into the group and go live or do a Zoom or something to explain it a little bit better, because I'm sure I totally butchered the process, but I just thought it was really cool. Let's see. Oh, so on Vistaprint, so another really cool idea for your recruit leads at your parties is to go into Vistaprint and create little invitations for your team meeting. And you can have it like, just leave like the space on there blank for the date so you can update it as necessary. But all the other information will be filled out. And so at your parties in the shopping room, when you have somebody who's maybe interested and they're like, oh, maybe later, or yeah, let me think about it, or I'm kind of interested, but I have some questions, you're going to give her an invitation to the next team meeting, like an actual physical invitation, along with her recruit packet too, you know, if you give her one of those. And I thought that was kind of cool too. So you're already like getting her involved. You're extending that invitation, because once she comes to the meeting and she sees everybody, she's gonna want to join your team. All right. Oh, so how many times, this has probably happened to all of you guys, have you had a situation where somebody comes into the shopping room, and somebody else at the party who came in before her has already booked a party, or they booked a party, and they're like, okay, well, I'm only going to get this one thing tonight because I want to save the rest of my shopping for Sally's party. That's 2 weeks from now. And you're like, no, like, I need to get sales now. And sometimes it doesn't always help to be like, well, if you do that, you're shorting your current hostess, her hostess credit. And they're usually like, no, that's okay. I'll still wait. So, genius idea. Let her know, all right, well, if you shop tonight, if you get everything that's your wish list tonight, not only are you going to get to go home with it tonight, but I'm going to go ahead and count this towards your party or Sally's upcoming party as towards her sales. So she'll still earn credit on your order tonight, you know, but this way you don't have to wait. Right? Like, yeah. So, and you could do that the same for if it's her party too. She's like, well, I want to wait so I can get all this for free. You know what? Go ahead, get this so you don't have to wait for it. You can go home with it tonight, and I'm gonna go ahead and start your party off at this. So you're actually gonna be double dipping on your own purchase. You're giving yourself free hostess credit right now. Like, how genius is that? Like, so yeah. So
Can you hear me?
Huh? What?
That also helps, like in case that second party doesn't pan out.
Yeah.
You got that sale that night, because a lot of them say I'll wait, and like that party cancels, and you're like, man, I should have, you know. So actually, it'll help make that sale tonight. So I'm with it. I'm gonna use that.
Yes. That's actually a really good point too. Yep. All right. Oh wait, which way am I going? Here. Oh nope, I did that one. So. Okay. All right. So something else that I've started doing when talking to my recruit leads, because I found that I was attracting a certain type of people, and you guys have probably noticed this as well. If you're offering the opportunity, you probably notice this. You attract a certain type of people. Like all of your recruit leads probably have something in common, and if they're not signing. And for me, I found that I was attracting a lot of people who really needed to have their hands held, and they needed their hands held before they signed up. And then because I wasn't hand holding them once they signed up, they were going inactive, which isn't to say that, you know, I'm responsible for their work ethic. But the way you treat your recruit leads before you sign them is how they're going to expect you to treat them once you sign them. So if you're trying to like candy coat everything and sugar sweet and like I will take care of everything, like that's what they're gonna expect once they sign up. And if they're not getting that, they're gonna be like, well, I'm out. Right? So I realized I needed to stop doing that to my recruit leads, because I wanted a higher quality people on my team. You know, I want people who are wanting to stay. I want people who are ready to work. I want people who are like, I'm ready to change my life. Like, let's do this. And so I started just laying it down for them and being serious and being like, look, like I totally get, like, you're coming in to do XYZ and this is what you want from the business. I am in full support of that. I want to help you achieve that. So here are my expectations of you in order for you to reach your goals. Does this match up with your expectations? Right? So then they know from the get-go, like before they've even signed up, like, oh, like she's serious. Like this is a business and I need to work if I'm going to reach my goals with this business. So, and that way it also keeps them accountable. So that way they know, like, you're not there to do the work for them, like that they have to work their own business. So I feel like that's helped me lately. And we'll see. I got to keep doing it, so we'll see. But that was something, because, well, so the specific tip that I learned from the workshop was, does this meet your expectations? Because I shared this idea and I was like, well, I tell them, here's my expectations of you to reach your goals. Does that make sense? And actually, I think it was Stacy Burkheimer who, because she made a surprise appearance. That's pretty cool. She's like, how about saying it this way? Does this also meet your expectations? So that way it's not like you're their boss, because you're nobody's boss and nobody in this company is your boss. You are your own boss, which is so wonderful. But I think sometimes as we start building a team, we forget that and we want to like micromanage, and it's like, that's not really our place. So by letting them know, here's my expectations of you in order for you to reach your goals, does this meet the expectations that you have for yourself within this business? And it throws it back on them and it keeps them accountable. And then here's a fun booking script. So write this down or type this up. I'll actually, I don't know if because I'm recording this, so I don't know if they will see the chat or not. So I'm going to say it for the people who are going to watch it, and then I'll also type it up. So I was told I have to give 5 different ladies a free girls' night. I was told I have to give 5 different ladies a free girls' night. And you were the first one that popped into my mind that deserves a ladies' night. I'll repeat that. I was told I have to give 5 different ladies a free girls' night. And you were the first one that popped into my mind that deserves a ladies' night. Let me know if you'd like to see some dates so I can come spoil you. So let me know if you'd like to see some dates so I can come spoil you. All right, so let me type that up really quick. Oops. Free girls' night. And you were the first one that popped into my mind that deserves a ladies' night. That word deserves is so powerful, you guys. Let me know if you'd like to see some dates so I can come spoil you. Boom. All right, cool. So that way you guys can copy and paste that. All right. So, okay. All right, so then I guess just another social media tip. If you don't know this already, yay, yes, use it, use it. Facebook is not your therapist, guys. So if you're having a bad day, your job sucks, you hate your partner, you want to throw your kids out the window, your dog is driving you up a wall, like whatever, like do not go on Facebook. If you have Nicole's life, yeah. Like do not get on your personal profile and bitch to the world, because your clients that are following you and people who might one day turn into your clients are seeing that and they're like, this girl is so, yes, that is what the off topic page is for. Yeah. Like they're gonna be like, this girl is so negative. But see, here's the thing, is that you might be like, well, I'm just keeping it real. Like, no, you're not keeping it real. And if posting those things on Facebook like validates you because you get a whole bunch of people that are commenting, you're like, yeah, girl, you tell it how it is, and I would throw him to the curb, and like, and you're like, yeah, I'm validated in my feelings. Just think like those are all the negative, like drama mongering people that you're attracting. And if you're going to try and book a party with them, I tell you what, it is not going to be a fun adventure, right? They're going to cancel, their friends are going to show up and they're going to be on drugs. Somebody's going to like something crazy. Someone's going to bring their man and they're going to start a fight. And like, these are things that happen like at parties when you get these like crazy drama ladies. Like it just happens. And if these are the people that you're interacting with on Facebook and trying to book parties with, like that's what's going to happen, and it's not going to be good for business. Or if you try to recruit them, they're going to do nothing but bring drama to the team, and we do not have time for that. We don't have time for that. So if you want positive people in your life and you want positivity in your life, you need to put that out into the universe. And since Facebook is the universe right now, the more positivity you put out onto social media, the more you're going to attract. And those are the people who are going to be booking parties with you and doing business with you and joining your team. And they're just going to lift you up, and you're going to feel far more validated than if you were using Facebook as your therapist. If you need a therapist, get an actual therapist. Therapists are cool. Or if you just want to bitch and whine, like we have the off-topic group, it's amazing for that. So, okay, so here's some fun like product pointers. Let's see. No, I don't think so. I mean, no. And I think there's a difference between letting your followers see that you're a vulnerable human being who has actual feelings, and going on there and telling everybody how much your life sucks and how broke you are and why can't anything ever go right, and and it's okay to also be passionate and have feelings about things. If you have a cause, champion that cause, because, and this actually goes back to a really great book that everybody should read. It's called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. I'll take that. Start With Why by Simon Sinek. Because your why is ultimately what inspires everything you do, and your habits, the way you behave, the things you say. And if you look at your Facebook posts, usually those all trace back to your why. Like if you follow me on Facebook, if we're not friends, don't send me a friend request if you're not my upline or downline, but you can follow me. All my posts are public, and I don't mind you following me. That's totally fine. I just want to save space out there for my clients, because Facebook caps you at like 5,000 or so. But like I post a lot of like sexual health stuff and women's rights and like LGBTQIA rights stuff, because that's part of my why. Like I feel that all individuals should be empowered and feel free in their identity and their sexuality, and that's what I'm all about. Yes, it's a little bit political, but I don't think anybody knows who I voted for or how I voted necessarily based on. Actually, no, nobody does, because I keep getting invited to all these groups that have nothing to do with my political ideology, because they assume that I voted a certain way based on my posts. So it's interesting. So nobody knows that, but it is what I believe in, and it's very important to me. And what that's going to do is that's going to attract other people who are also passionate about those things and whose why that also resonates with. And that's what's going to, for me, like that's how I want to build my team. I want to build a team of people who are passionate. I want to do business with people who are passionate, who are open, who want others to feel good and feel empowered. So what you put out is ultimately what's going to come back to you. It's crazy. Like Facebook works exactly the way the universe does. It's kind of crazy. All right, so some fun product factoids, like little things that you can, like one-liners and stuff. Sorry, guys. Whew. All right, so for Just Like Me, if you live in a 420 friendly state or locality, this is something I didn't know because I do not partake of the marijuana, but I don't judge others who do. I just don't. Cotton mouth equals cotton vagina. So when you're talking about, so apparently dry mouth is a side effect of using marijuana. Yeah, that was the point there. So if you're in a 420 friendly area, or you're doing a party with 420 friendly folks, you could just slip that in when you're talking about Just Like Me, and they're like, well, and if you got cotton mouth, you probably have cotton vagina too. So think about that. You need some Just Like Me. Okay. Just Like Me also improves the cell renewal rate. So if you didn't know this already, your vagina is basically a self-cleaning oven, and you have regular discharge that's throughout your day, and that's the vagina's way of cleaning itself. And it's also getting rid of dead like vaginal skin cells. And those cells, renew at their regular rate. But just due to things that can cause dryness, maybe it's a certain time of the month, maybe you drank a little more caffeine that day, maybe you're stressed, maybe you're tired, that renewal rate is not always at optimum levels. But Just Like Me, because it's technically a vaginal moisturizer, is going to improve the cell renewal rate. So it actually is basically like thirst quenching your vagina. Your vagina is thirsty. It's coughing out dust. It's like, okay. And so when you use Just Like Me at the beginning of the day, you just put a little bit up in there, right? It's going to be like, small glass of water. It's going to like feel good. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, that was a fun little factoid. It improves the cell reversal right. Or renewal, I'm sorry, renewal, right. Talk about Simply Silk for shower sex. So this is how you can sell them all 3 lubricants. So just like me, Simply Silk and Pure Pleasure. They need, just like me, as, you know, vagina water. They need, and for just like regular run-of-the-mill sex, because it's Tuesday sex, they need Simply Silk for their water sports. Hot tub, bathtub, shower, swimming pool, puddle, whatever. And then they need Pure Pleasure because they know somebody's putting a pinky in somebody's butthole, and you better use some Pure Pleasure for that. Okay, so boom, all 3 lubes. Great head. Here's a funny one-liner. No more hacking while you're snacking. Yeah, I cracked up when she said that. She's like, no more hacking while you're snacking, ladies. Oh, so you can do, if you you can sell a fire and ice package of of an enhancement cream and sensations. So the enhancement creams, for a lot of people, it feels cool and tingly, and we know sensations is hot. So if you sell them together as a package, you can call it the fire and ice package. And sell them together, yeah. And then let's see, another funny one-liner for sensations. Rub it like you're getting paid, ladies. And they're like rubbing it, just rub it really fast, like you're getting paid. Do it. All right. So when you're demoing Home Alone, right, you can mention, okay, like there's those girls who are like, I'm a bullet girl. I love my bullet, had my bullet for the past 30 years. It's the best thing ever. Like I got that thing like duct taped together. Love my bullet. It's my old faithful. All right. But Home Alone is the upgrade from the traditional bullet because it has 30 functions. It's waterproof, and you don't have to worry about getting tangled up in that weird cord. It's probably going to be shorting out. You got like some wires like sticking out on the end. You got to put like the batteries in the battery pack, and then it's like you're tangled up. There's a knot in it. Now it doesn't work. And so Home Alone is like the big girl's bullet, right? This is for grown-ups. We just took our bullet game to a whole nother level. All right, so that was really cool too. Premier, again, for the girls who are like, I just like my bullet. It's a finger bullet. Premier is a finger bullet. You're welcome. And then a fun sexual health fact, and this is the last thing that I got. So we talk about how there's 8,000 to 12,000 nerve endings in the clitoris, right? And actually, so 80% of those nerve endings are actually located in the legs, in the crura. So that's what, and this is what you can talk about when you're demoing things like the Premier, because when you are getting into the folds of the labia, you're actually stimulating the legs of the clitoris, you know, through the tissue. So you're actually getting into more of the nerve endings rather than just focusing on the glands of the clitoris. But the vulva, the whole vulva, the labia majora, the labia minora, like the pubic mound, all of that, total of 65,000 nerve endings. Girl, if you can't sell some Take a Bow on that alone, right? Because the Take a Bow, that and the Euphoria one, you know, the heated one, right? That covers like the whole like external, like all the vulva, and they're stimulating 65,000 nerve endings. That is 65,000 reasons to get this toy. Mic drop. All right, so that's all I got. You guys have any questions for me? I'm gonna go ahead and take y'all off mute here. Maybe I won't. Let's see here. Unmute all. All right, cool. So you guys can ask me your questions if you have any. Nobody has any questions?
What did you say for the 65,000 nerve endings? Where is all of those at?
The whole vulva. So all the nerve end, like all of the external.
Okay.
The labia majora, the labia minora, the pubic mound, the clitoral hood, the clitoral shaft, like all of that on the outside. 65,000. Like,
It's a lot.
I'm still like, I mean, we win. Like, we win in the genitals department. Like, I think this makes up for all of our suffering through the years. Down to patriarchy.
So you said
65,000.
65,000 on the outside, and how many on the inside?
So the clitoris itself, so
Okay, can y'all type that up? Cause I forget that all the time.
yeah, so here, so I'm gonna draw a picture. Don't laugh at my drawing. Okay, so this is your clitoris. It kind of looks like a wishbone. Bless you.
Bless you.
Right, and so let's see, here we go. All right, so if you could tell. So the only part that you see is this part. This is usually the little part that people think of as the clitoris. But
Yeah.
you have the legs, which are the crura. That's the science word for it, crura. So there's 8,000 to 12,000 nerve endings in this whole organ, but most of those nerve endings are located here in the legs. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Does that?
Just gotta remember that.
A cute little clitoris.
Let's see.
I should stick this on my wall.
Ah!
I got a clitoris on my wall now.
No shame in that.
Right? You guys have any other questions? Allie disappeared. I don't know if she is. Oh, there she is. Allie, do you have any questions? Okay. Jenny,
Sorry, I'm making brownies for the
Oh, no.
kids.
Ooh, send some my way.
I'm licking the bowl.
Ooh, jealous. Jenny, you got any questions?
Looking through my notes, I think I'm okay for the time being. I'm just excited about from what you've been sharing. I'm like, I kind of want to go out recruiting people now.
Right? Isn't it like?
Let's do
oh my
it.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's funny how you mentioned earlier, don't worry about the numbers, because I felt like when you said that, I was like, oh, has she been reading my mind? Because that's what I did the entire week. I think I shared with you because I was like, okay, looking at my current schedule now, if I am going to be a little bit more successful and be where I want to be, I think I said I was going to like average between 8 to 10 parties. And then I was like, wait a minute. There's a simpler way of doing this. Thank you, Drea, for that one.
Yeah. I mean, because like when you think about it, like, I mean, and depending on what your financial goals are, I mean, having a team and just earning your override and just earning your lifestyle bonus, regardless of what your team sells or doesn't sell, for some people that can meet their financial goals for their month that they have for their business. You know, some women only want to make an extra $100 a month. And you know how you do that? By getting a lifestyle bonus by helping 3 other women start their own business. That's just $100. Boom, here you go. Just for existing. Like, it just makes life so much easier. So, Sam, I know you jumped in a little bit late. Did you have any questions?
No, I got to play again.
Just
I'm still under so much stress, it's not even funny. So,
sorry. I hope you feel better soon.
I didn't wake up till 7:30, and I rolled over. I was like, shit, I missed it again. I hope
Well, it's recording right now, so
Okay.
so you can watch the replay.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you guys don't have any other questions, I'll go ahead and end the recording and the Zoom and get this uploaded and posted. And I'm sure you guys. Oh, go ahead.
Andrea, did you ever get that invoice to send?
Oh, you know what? I didn't. No, I haven't gotten. No, it hasn't come. So I'm gonna email Brad, my IT guy, and he sent me back a funny email because he helped me work on some issue that it was having, and I was like, oh, it worked. I don't know what magic you worked. And he was like, oh, just, wished upon a shooting star and, did this. I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah, because I can't remember, because I did it step by step when they were doing it on the TikTok. So I can't remember what it was.
I mean, that probably is right. It probably really is my system. So, but thank you for that. I'll get it figured out.
Okay.
But yeah, all right. So if you guys don't have anything, I'm gonna go ahead and get this uploaded. If you guys think of any questions afterwards, please do not hesitate to comment or post or message me. My inbox is always open. I just might be slow to respond because I only check my messages and respond to my messages like twice a day. So that's why sometimes I'm slow. So yeah. Well, thank you guys for jumping on. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was good information. Go out and rock your businesses. So
That's good.
bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.